Islamophobia is normalised, and if you don't think it is, then you are part of the problem. Inshallah, if Allah wills it. MashaAllah, Allah has willed it. Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Jihad, a personal struggle in devotion to Islam, especially involving spiritual discipline. You hear these words and what do you think?
I am going to call from Washington. I am in a situation where Americans learn a possible hijack.
What's going on, Betty? The crap is erratic again. Problem, very erratic. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there? Betty? Betty?
A plane just What? 737?
What?
The World Trade Center.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
At number 2 World Trade Center, right. Ladies and students in this office, we're not ready to die, but it's getting bad.
I'm on the 83rd floor. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No. I'm gonna die.
Ma'am, say your prayers.
God.
We're gonna think positive because you gotta help each other get off the floor.
I'm
Now,
gonna die.
Scott, the shock over this attack is not just to do with the numbers of people killed, it has to do with their age. These were, as you say, kids, teenagers, some kids still in primary school, many of whom now will not grow old. Sung, the young, happy crowd was beginning to file out of the arena.
Oh my God.
A dash cam in the parking lot caught the blast.
Oh my God.
The crowd began to panic. The bomber was not in the arena. Britain's Prime Minister, Theresa May, expressed her country's horror and resolve.
All acts of terrorism are cowardly attacks on innocent people. But this attack stands out for its appalling, sickening cowardice, deliberately targeting innocent, defenseless children and young people who should have been enjoying one of the most memorable nights of their lives.
Everyone was running. I've never seen anything like it.
There are armed police in the area. How clear do I need to be? Move out of this area. Get away!
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please leave the area for your own safety? Please.
There are armed police in the area. How clear do I need to be? Move out of this area. Stay still! Do not go down there!
While armed officers hunted down the terrorists.
Drop it, you fool! You ain't no Muslim, bruv! You're no Muslim, bruv! You ain't no Muslim!
These words are joyful words. They are happy, respectful and peaceful words. Don't twist and confuse these words. My life matters, but I hate myself. I'm screaming on the inside and you'll never see exactly what it is that's ruining me. Imagine a world with tranquility, gender equality, racial equality, religious equality, just love. It's a world I wish existed, but it is not the world we live in. Hatred for someone due to the colour of their skin. For someone loving a person, for someone being themselves. What do you see when you come across me and see me wearing a hijab? What is your first thought? Do you think that I'm oppressed by my culture and religion, and I am forced to wear these garments to fulfill the wishes of Muslim men? Do you whisper to the next person, is she suffering? This has become a huge issue in lots of parts of the world, especially here in the United Kingdom, where stereotypes often associate hijabi women with being ultra-conservative and having no freedom.
Britain first! Fighting back! Britain first! Fighting back! Britain first! Fighting back! Britain first! Fighting back! Britain first! Fighting back!
This is a Christian country, and we will do everything in our power will be done to drive Islam out of this country forever.
They're trying to make life difficult for Muslims in this country because now their slogan is no more mosques. So they're basically saying that Muslims should not be allowed to practice their faith. Okay, so they want to discriminate against Muslims and make us feel as if we don't belong here.
Every day I have been targeted and oppressed for things that are special and important to me. I may not be the default, but is that truly a reason for strangers to hate me? Is it a reason for people to walk over me and treat me like dirt underneath their shoe? Should I really be someone's target of hatred? Should I really be someone who should be disrespected? Someone who should be repulsed? Your words have stuck to me. It has impacted me more than you would ever know, more than you could ever comprehend. All this pain, and what has it achieved? Still to this day I experience abuse. It's a never-ending fire that keeps being fed, and everyone just stands and watches. But nobody tries to stop it and help put the fire out. I have been greatly affected by the abuse that has been hurled at me. My initial reaction is, what did I do to deserve this? What have I done? I must be at fault, as it always somehow managed to be my fault. Somehow their story is always twisted to make me the villain and for them to be the victim. They make it out like I have invaded their lives, their land and their privacy. I despise that it has been normalized for people to say things like, I should leave the country. This is my country. Getting called Paki on a daily, receiving all of your dirty looks. They stay on my mind like a broken record. Imagine how you would feel if people were shouting horrendous things to you all day, every day. How would you react? How would you cope with this constant neglect not being accepted by society? Now imagine getting told how you should react. Getting told that violence is wrong, so all you have to defend yourself with is angry words and a hurt harm. And yet people still ignore me. I get told how I should feel and that I am in the wrong, even though I am the one being targeted. It's a rigged game and I'm on a constant losing streak because of it.
What ended up happening was about midway through my first prayer, I heard a yelling and a screaming, and because I was concentrated on my prayer, and this is the specific time between me and God, I kind of ignored that and just focused on what I was doing. But as the screaming and as the yelling became louder and louder, I started to recognize what this woman was saying. What she was saying, it was, she was telling me that I was an effing terrorist, to go back and fight for ISIS in Syria, to stop praying to that piece of S upstairs, calling me an effing Ali Baba, saying that I was a dirty Muslim pig, and it just kept going on and on. Now, I ignore this through my prayer. After I finished praying, maybe some 10 minutes later, I called the police while I was still in a kneeling position. I let them know what was happening. And then after I got off the phone with the police, I approached her and I sat maybe 5 or 10 meters away from her. I said to her, I said, ma'am, what is it about me or what I'm doing that you find so offensive? And that's when she got even louder and she got more abusive and more threatening to me. And she was pointing to a woman who was down the park area, maybe about 30, 40 meters away, who was playing with several of her young children and saying that I'm going to go rip the scarves off all the women around here and that they're effing bees and all that kind of stuff. And I said to her, look, I'm sorry that you found what I was doing or who I am or how I look or what my religion is so offensive, but I've got a right to be in this park. And, I'm just, I'm observing my own values and my own life in a peaceful manner. And that's when she said, well, you've got no right to do anything like that. This is our park, this is our land.
All I wanted was to be seen as British and to be treated like any other non-Muslim kid in my class, but I was denied that. I was told time and time again that I wasn't British and that I never was going to be British. I was told that I was a terrorist. This made me feel vulnerable and belittled. I would be scared to leave my house as I knew I'd be faced with verbal abuse, sometimes physical. How am I meant to be prepared? It is beyond unfair that I can't do everyday tasks without someone looking at me like I'm a monster, when in reality, they are. Racism is taught. Racism is normalized.